Meanwhile, this weekend we are observing Memorial Day, and it's a day to honor all the men and women that made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. And one of the beautiful traditions to show our support is to wear a red poppy. So here to show us how to make our own poppy brooches and to also fill us in on where this tradition came from is Ken, who knows a thing or two about this, right, Ken?
Yes. So, you know, I grew up as an Army brat. My dad was an Army colonel for 20 years, and although he didn't die serving our country, there's Dad. I miss him. I miss him very much. Being military was just part of our life, and my father didn't pass away in service, but we had lots of people that were affected and did lose people actually defending our country. So this holiday has always been important. But I know one of my dad's pet peeves, and I know one of John's, you know, who's also served, is that people get the holidays mixed up. So just a little short lesson here for everyone, so we're all on the same page. So Memorial Day is to honor the men and women who died in service to our country. Exactly. Veterans Day is to celebrate all of our veterans, past and present, active duty and non-active duty.
That's right.
Armed Forces Day is to celebrate our current armed forces men and women. So those are the three holidays. So.
And you know what? I think every day should be a day to celebrate our armed forces anyway, because what they do, I'm telling you, it takes a certain type of person to run towards the fire and not away from it. So thank you very much for everyone who has served our country. Now today you're going to show us how to make these poppies, but where did this come from? Where did this tradition come from?
So I've talked about this once before on the show, and I find it a wonderful tradition. So poppies came from a poem called In Flanders Field, which was written by Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae. And there's a sort of monument to him in Canada. He was a Canadian physician who served in World War I. Flanders Field is a field in Belgium where a battle was fought and a lot of soldiers fell. After the war had passed, someone went back to the field and it had grown full of red poppies.
Oh my God.
So I'm going to read a little bit excerpt of the poem. It's a beautiful poem. In Flanders Field, the poppies blow. We are the dead. Short days ago, we lived, felt dawn, saw sunsets glow, loved, were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Field.
Wow, that is powerful.
And it really, to your point, it goes like the people who are no longer with us so that we can do what we're doing, so that we can live free and that we can live and love our love our families.
It's really beautiful.
We can't give them enough thanks.
We can't, absolutely not. So wearing a poppy is the least we could possibly do. So how exactly are we going to make these adorable lapel poppies? And by the way, they do wear them now for Veterans Day.
They do. Yeah, different countries wear them for Veterans Day, Memorial Day. It's all good. So I made large ones here. I thought they'd be great for a brooch, to pin a scarf, the smaller one for a lapel. And all you're going to need is a little bit of just standard crafter's felt. I have a template for a large and small petal, which you can get from a home and family page. Trace it on your felt. You're going to need 3 of each.
I mean, you could do that freehand.
You could do it freehand, but you know, I don't want to stress anyone at home out. You can print out the template. You're going to then just simply cut those out, easy breezy. Now next, I wanted to add a little bit of a detail. So what I have here is some black embroidery thread. And what I'm going to do, it's knotted at one end, I'm going to make this little sort of mark on here. And I'm just going to come up and down in 3 lines.
So it really looks authentic.
Just to give us a little bit of sort of lines and patterns. And this, you know, you don't stress about it. It does not have to be perfect. It is nature, so everyone is different. Once you do that, now, if you're a sewer, what you're going to do is just go ahead and overlap those 2 tips, and then just come right up in the middle there.
To give it the 3D.
And that's going to give you your 3D. Now, if you are not, and there you go, you've got your petal right there. Now, if you are not a sewer, stress not. You can skip the black lines, you can put them on with a marker, and you can also close this up with hot glue. So for the sewer and the non-sewer, we have two options.
Good to go. And I remember last year we did another DIY for the poppies. We did the crepe paper.
The crepe paper for the front door.
That was so
beautiful. You can
beautiful.
tell Memorial Day is a important holiday. So now I've got all of these. Now the big ones I did not put the lines on, but I did sort of make them as a petal. And what I'm going to do is just start to assemble this. And we're going to do a little bit of hot glue here and just overlap them.
Okay.
And then a little bit of hot glue in the middle. Now, if you are handy with the needle and thread and you have a thimble, you can go ahead and do this also with the needle and thread, but you're going to be going through lots and lots of felt. So I recommend doing the hot glue on this.
Easy.
And then you're just going to layer the 3 smaller petals right on the inside.
And you could get the kids involved in this as well, but you probably want to be the one handling the hot glue.
But yeah, have them do it. They could do it seriously. They could do it with craft glue if they've got the patience. So, and they're basically as easy as that. You can see right there, you've got your flower. Now, the magic really comes from the inside. I wanted to get that sort of feeling of that inside of the poppy. I found a little trick. So I got a piece of black fabric. It has the, I think it's called the salvage
That's
end.
right. It's frayed.
And what I'm going to do is that is what I'm going to use.
It's the raw end.
Save the rest of your fabric for another project.
Okay.
Get a black pom-pom.
Oh my gosh, did you come up with that?
Yes, I did.
How smart is that?
It's called being lazy.
Oh, no, it's such a great idea to think
It's easy, right? You don't have to there's nothing you have to fray. I put hot glue, and then I'm just simply going to roll my sort of ball up in that.
Look at
Voila.
that.
Now you have your exactly little frayed ends. Exactly like that. Now, it might get a little long, so if you do go through with scissors, snip that. And then all we're going to do is a little glue on the inside.
And then you just
and
poke the pin through the back?
So you can do a couple things. If you want to get fancy, go to the craft store. You can get these brooch pins that exist, and you can stitch that on.
Right.
But honestly, all you need to do is just a big hat pin, and you can pin this. That's
just
what I did.
Straight through.
Pin it straight on.
I mean, you could even do a safety pin through it.
You can do a safety pin. And this is the template is going to be for this big size, which I think, there or in a hat is lovely. But just get the exact same one and just cut it a little bit smaller, and you have a lapel pin.
And look at how perfect
there we go.
This looks. This looks so authentic. That is gorgeous, Ken.
In Flanders Field,
In Flanders Field. And I'm saying it's prom season. If I were going to prom again, I'd wear one of these.
No big orchid
Nope. No real one. This would be the thing for me.
You got it.